It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Hello to all. Welcome to Divas That Care Network. I am Joyce Benning, and I will be your host for this invigorating, robust lifestyle show. I want to thank each one of our listeners that have tuned in live and the ones that will be listening to the recording on the podcast. I am just so very grateful for each and every one of you. And I am just overly excited today as I have my returning monthly diva with me, Beth Lauren Parrish. And her and I are going to chat about tapping into your intuition. Oh, my listeners, you are in for a fabulous show today. Beth, could you please introduce yourself to our listeners today?
Of course. Thank you so much, Joyce. I'm Beth Lauren Parrish, and my business is Inspired Riding. And I encourage horse owners to trust their intuition, listen to their horses deeply, and that way they can have the best co-creative dances together. So I'm a certified riding instructor, I'm a remote coach, and I'm also a rapid transformational therapy practitioner, which is a unique form of hypnotherapy. And I'm all about reminding people that they have this inner power within, and it's safe to let it out and share your light with the world.
Oh, I absolutely love your introduction. I love that, a co-creating dance with your horse. And then to let your inner power out and let that light shine. Oh, Beth, what a beautiful way to start our tapping into your inner intuition. I absolutely love that. And letting your light shine. I have seen that so much lately. Letting yourself go and let that light shine that is inside of you. And I just love that. That is beautiful. Well, as we start this chat, how would you like to start with our listeners, telling them about how they can tap into their intuition?
Well, I'd be happy to talk about what I do and give them advice and ideas and pretty much why it's important. So much of us, and throughout our days, there's a lot of rushing. There's a lot of, I've got to get this done, get this done, get this done. And people always feel like they're just not doing enough, and they just feel a little bit scattered. You know, that's a typical, Western lifestyle. So what I want to encourage people to do is, instead of thinking like, oh, I've got to make time for meditation, I've got to make time to do this, I want you to just allow those little moments throughout your day, like even if it's just like, I'm about to go do the dishes. Let me take a breath. Let me place my hand on my heart and just ask, how am I feeling right now? Is there something I need in this moment? And that gets you into this little habit. And if you start to add it throughout the day, you're going to start tapping into your intuition more often, and you're going to just allow it to become part of your day. You're going to allow it to become more natural. And then you're going to notice there's going to be a better flow for your day. You're not going to feel so tense and stuck and scattered. You're going to feel like you're starting to tap into a new level of calm, a new level of relaxation. And then once you get there, you're going to breathe easier. And then you're going to notice, hey, I can actually ask my inner guidance for advice. And I can get very clear about decisions that I wasn't sure about before because I was just rushing about too much. But if you just take a few extra seconds, and that's really all it takes. You don't have to sit there for 20 full minutes meditating. Of course, that's a great idea. But if you don't have that time, it's really important to just go, hey, how am I feeling right now? And just take a breath into your heart. Like literally just place your hand on your heart for a moment. That is one really simple way to start adding in tapping into your intuition. And then when you get that sense of, hey, this feels right for me, or no, this doesn't feel right, then you get to this new level of confidence. So when you start to really dial in a yes, this is true, and no, this is false feeling, you're going to be unstoppable. And then your energy is going to shift. And then people around you are going to notice. Of course, your animals are going to notice. I was playing this morning just with tapping into, connecting to Rose. our dog that's more connected to Charlie, my husband, and she was sitting on the couch with me, and Charlie went off to the office, and then Rose looked at me, and she didn't say a thing. She just looked like, "Are we okay?" And I said, "Rose," in my mind, from my heart, I said, "Rose, if you want to go hang out with your dad in the office, that's totally fine. I can hang out here with Cordelia." And she got off of the couch, looked at me straight in the eye. She goes, "You're sure you're good without me?" I'm like, "I'm good without you." And she just walked out, went down to hang out with her dad. And it was the coolest experiment. It was just so clear. So when you tap in to start trusting yourself, then you can actually start playing with those telepathic connections with your animals. It's so much fun. Yeah, I just went a lot.
Oh, that was all.
This is my normal.
That was all beautiful, Beth, and the experience you had this morning with your dog. Oh, I love that. That is so very true, because it's just taking that moment, like you said. It doesn't have to be a long period of time. Just take that breath from your heart and just realize what's around you. It's a little bit like living in the present moment rather than thinking of all this stuff that I got to get done. I got to do this. I got to do that. We all have such agendas that we forget to live in that present moment, and taking that time, just like with the dog. If you'd have been scurrying around and not noticing that, it would have totally gone by, and that moment would have been gone that you captured with her and tell her to go, yeah, go be with your husband. That's fine. He's in his office. That'll be fine, and I'm okay. I love that, because I see that a lot with my animals. It's incredible when you just live in the moment, is how I look at it a lot, is just live in this present moment and enjoy it and take in what's around you. And you will be so amazed how that inner power starts to shine out, and that inner guidance. I always say the inner guidance is more the quiet one that's talking to you, and it's not the busy loudness that we hear around the world of everything that's going on and what we think we got to get done. And that inner guidance is quietly whispering to you what you need to be doing and how you can do it in so much easier way. And like you said, the energy that comes off of you then, that will be what you shine out into the world with, and that's what you will attract back to yourself, is how I feel. Oh, I love that.
Absolutely. Oh, thank you. I love that too. And, some people get whispers, and then some people actually get, for their intuitive insights, they'll hear things, they'll see things, they'll feel things, and some of them will just say, I just know. I don't know how I know, but I just know. And it's so cool when we start talking about this more often, especially in the horse world, and you just let it be like a normal thing. So when I decided to create my new chapter in my business and started to call it Inspired Riding, my biggest focus was to tell all of my students, hey, if you get some kind of gut feeling, some kind of intuitive hit that something's not quite right, or if you want to try something new, I need you to tell me, because I'm not going to be able to feel that. I'm focused in on you and your horse and what's best for you in the moment. But if you get something different, I need you to tell me and vocalize it and feel safe to say that. Now, there's a lot of people in the horse world that would, not even consider something like that. And there's some students that would be afraid to even talk to their instructor. But I want to start creating a dialogue where it's totally cool to do that, and it's actually more conducive for you and your horse if you start to give your intuition more of a voice out loud. So that's one of the reasons why I literally just opened up the doors to sign up for my very incredibly honored to present this audio summit, and it involves the topic of the benefits of intuition in the horse world. And so we have 12 people that I interviewed all across different aspects of the horse world, and they're all asked the same questions. And, of course, everyone had different answers, but there was very beautiful themes that started to repeat, and it was really cool how it unfolded. So it's now available for people to sign up, and because I'm a big Star Wars fan and my tagline for my business is May the Horse Be With You Always. the day that everyone gets to listen will be on May 4th, which they call Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you, you know. So, that was my top secret project that I mentioned briefly last time that I can now talk about. So it's really exciting. I can't wait for everyone to listen to it.
Oh, Beth, that sounds incredible. And how can our listeners get signed up for this audio summit for the benefits of intuition in the horse world?
The easiest way is to go to inspiredriding.com, and you will see it on my homepage. There's a big picture with the sign up there. I just made it super simple for everyone to go there. So just go to inspiredriding.com and then scroll down, and you'll see the audio summit information right there.
Oh, wow. And yes, listeners, I'm on her website right now, and it is very easy to find. And, oh, goodness, I'm going to grab my free spot, definitely. Oh, this sounds incredible, Beth. I love that you have done this and interviewed all different kinds of horse people around the world.
Yes.
Is what is neat, too. So you get all kinds of different aspects coming in about the benefits of intuition. Oh, wow. And how we can apply them to me, be it in the horse world, and just apply them in everything you do. Because if you listen to that inner voice, it is just amazing how it affects your life in so many ways. I mean, there's so many little things. Sometimes I'll just think, I need to just step outside for a minute. And what do I hear when I open that door but a beautiful bird singing? And if I wouldn't have, I love that, and that has happened to me so many times. That's just one example. But if I wouldn't have listened to that little voice, I would have never heard that beautiful song that bird was out there singing. And I call my red birds my music from heaven, angel music. So, and I love it. And so that is one little way that I can experience, too, on just a very simple way of doing your intuition in any kind of ways that you're living your life.
Oh, that's just gorgeous. I love that. And it's so interesting you said that. My little Cordelia, my smaller puppy, she actually started to run after a little cardinal. She goes, "It's so pretty. I need to get closer." So cute. That just reminded me of it. But speaking of different ways to tune in, one way, a simple way, is to simply say out loud with the intention, "I invite intuitive insights to show up for me today." And then once you start doing that, you're going to notice really cool things transpire. So like you said, just this feeling of I need to walk outside. And there are moments where I'm like, I wonder how this person's doing. Like a random person will just show up in my mind. And then it'll send me into another rabbit hole of all these other things I've been wanting to do. And I'm like, this is so cool. I'm so excited I thought of that, And it's just your intuitive guidance is so wise. So if you just really open yourself up and thinking of allowing it to show up and inviting it to show up, very much like how I now approach the horse time, is I'm not making them do it. They don't have to do it. I'm inviting them. I'm allowing them. I'm asking, what do you want to offer me? And then I will reward you in kind with lots of treats and love, of course. So just for an example, this weekend, Pepper was just not into the riding time. He was like, you can scratch me, but that's it. And I even tacked him up yesterday, and he just started getting really tense and like he was going to explode kind of tense. So I was like, okay, I'm letting you go. And as soon as I took the saddle off, he ran. I was like, I'm really glad that was very clear. He said, no, thank you. So I didn't even get on him. And then today, absolutely, totally relaxed, so sweet, so quiet, saddled him up. I always do this at Liberty, so there's no halter involved. And then I put the bridleless guide on, which is a really simple wire with a nice handle on it that you just put over the neck. So he's completely bridleless with just a little neck rope kind of thing, basically. And I got on him, and he was really quiet, hung out with Indy for a moment, and then he just turned and took me into the woods. I was like, Pepper, I really want to try the arena today. He goes, well, we're going in the woods first, lady. Hold on. And he literally, I just had to trust him, and he literally just, started really moving, at a strong walk. all the way through the woods, and he brought us over to my favorite log, which is a little bit bigger than the other logs. And he's like, "Are you ready?" And I could feel him go, "We're going to jump it." I'm like, okay. So we actually jumped for the first time bridleless this morning. And it was the most thrilling feeling. And he landed trotting, and I was like, "Oh, that was wonderful. Do you want a cookie?" And he was like, "Not now. I'm on a mission." And he literally, like, took me back to the arena, and then we did the most trotting we've ever done in the bridleless guide, trotting around. And I was so blessed because Charlie came out just at that moment and started taking pictures with his fancy camera. So I actually got a few moments of us trotting in photos. So that just made me so happy. But long story short, I was listening to my intuition. I was deeply listening to my horse. And I could have gone down the rabbit hole last night of, oh, Pepper doesn't want to do anything with me anymore. You know, he just said no 2 days in a row. You know, I could have gotten myself down in the dumps. But I just went, they're living in the moment. You have to give them benefit of the doubt that some days they're just not into it like us. And today was just a perfect example of how things can flip so quickly. And now I'm like in that groove, like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Do I expect that to happen tomorrow? It would be awesome, but if it doesn't, that's okay too. You know, and you just literally, like you said, you live in the present moment and you're appreciating everything. And then life just becomes this amazing experience.
Oh, Beth, what a beautiful, beautiful story. That was awesome. I love what you did with him, Pepper.
Thank you. Did you enjoy the ride with me?
Yes, I did. I could just vision it. It was beautiful. It was so much fun. Well, it kind of brought to my mind, too, yesterday, my adopted daughter and I rode, and for some reason, on Saturday, it was in my mind, just text her and tell her, let's just go with a short ride and ride out in the pasture on Sunday, and that way you can bring your dog along. We don't have to mess with the roads and the vehicles and everything. And it was absolutely perfect. It was just beautiful. The horses enjoyed it so much. She just had basically, she was in front of me, and she goes, I'm just letting him take us down through the pastures here. And the horse did, and he was very careful when he went around the trees and made sure she had room to get under him, and it was just incredible. So I thought, if I wouldn't have listened to my intuition to let her know, let's just do this, it was what I felt we needed to do. And her dog got to come along and run with us, and he had a great time. And my other horse, my older horse, he was at liberty just walking with us, and he had a good time. And I thought we would have never got to experience this if I would not have listened to my intuition, and we'd have rode down the road or done something else. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then you said that this morning, what you and Pepper did, and I'm going, oh wow, it's just listening to that intuition and being connected. That is, oh wow, we both had a great experience of a story to tell this time.
I love that so much, Joyce. Oh my gosh. And I love that your horse at Liberty can just join you. It's like a family trail ride. That's really cool.
That's exactly what it is. And he just follows along and loves it.
That is brilliant. Oh my gosh. I love that so much. And yeah, when you're that connected to your heart all the time, like the most beautiful experiences will show up. So yeah, when in doubt, just take a moment, breathe, put your hand on your heart and ask what you need. And then ask what would be the best, next step for the highest good in my life right now. And then move from there. And the cool thing is, something I wanted to mention that happened recently in one of my Zoom meetings from my connection group, my private remote coaching group. We talked about, because a lot of people visualize, but there are a lot of people who have a lot of trouble visualizing. So I wanted to speak to that just a little bit, because that's like another way you can get intuitive insights.
Yes.
Some people just like to write words out and automatic writing comes out. Some people will literally just get a feeling in their body, and some people will hear things. But something we were talking about is one client was having some difficulty visualizing the picture of what she wanted to show her horse. So at that moment, she was trying to get her horse to just stand quietly at the mounting block so she could get on safely. And I said, listen, and she said, well, maybe I'll just say it out loud. I'm like, absolutely. So use your words. So that's one way. So that's auditory. And then instead of trying to visualize, if that's something that's hard for you, I want you to imagine the feeling of stepping up on him and sitting on him safely and just settling in and breathing. She goes, oh, I can do that. I said, the cool thing is the horses really feel your energy and your intention. So if you're not able to create the picture, however your gifts can come through, so if it's just with words and feelings, then the horse can pick that up and turn that into a picture for themselves. And they're like, okay, I feel that clear intention from her energy field. And then it all lines up beautifully. So I just wanted to kind of mention that out loud because I know there's some people who really have trouble visualizing things that you can use however you want. As long as it's clear and it's consistent, the horse will go, yep, I'm on it. I'm with you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that is so true because, yes, that is just passing on your energy and your thoughts of what you would like, and the horses pick up. I mean, they know what your energy is like before you ever get near them each and every day, and it is just amazing. But yes, that is a beautiful another example to give to our listeners on how they can tune in to their intuition and into visualizing what they would like to happen for their ride, for their day even. Just everything. You can use this in just everyday life. And when life starts to get too busy, like you said, just take a breath, put your hand on your heart, and just breathe. And we can all do that.
Totally. And then something I'd love to share, if this is okay with you, is my inner guidance journal entry from this morning.
Yes, please do.
I literally just finished listening to the audiobook of Jay Shetty. Jay Shetty's book is called Think Like a Monk. And at the very end, he was really emphasizing how important it is to create the sound vibration, the energy that you want to create from chanting. And he was giving different examples. And I was like, well, I've never really done that too much before. I've experimented with it, believe it or not, while riding Indy. I used to go while I was riding Indy, my sensitive thoroughbred. And it would actually settle him down. It was really cool. And I've always been taught that sound vibration is really the ticket to helping you, shift your reality. And so with that said, and then one other preface is I always think about all of us as energetic light beings. And it's like you can imagine us as strings of light connecting to the universal web of all the strings all connected. Right? So that's one way to say we're all connected in a sense. So I preface that with this entry, and it'll make more sense now. But I basically said, what's something I can really focus on today that'll be unique, especially for this podcast? And they're like, here you go. So this was my inner guidance saying, the more you connect to your heart and create focused thoughts from there, the easier it will be for the universe to feel your clear vibration. If you imagine your string of light settling into harmony with what you'd like to create, the manifestations can happen sooner and with more delight. If you are stressed or tense or rushing or scattered, the vibration will feel like staccato beats rather than humming along smoothly. This is why chanting helps with your clarity to create the vibe you wish to feel and experience. And I started to write, and then they added 3 M's after, like, And I thought that was hilarious. They're funny, so I call them they because it's like my angels, my guidance, inner guidance angels, basically. There's 3 of them that I connect with. So those are the ones that help me write these. It's really fun. So hopefully that helps some of you listening.
Oh, that was beautiful. I love that.
Thank
Connect
you.
to your heart. I always say, yes.
Go ahead.
I always say stay heart-centered, and it is amazing. And when you say that about making the vibration, that just reminds me, because I hum a lot when I'm doing things, and I'm like, I just do it almost subconsciously. I'm just humming along about it. And I'm like, oh, okay.
That's fantastic. And it's so interesting because this morning I chose not to do a video and keep my phone in my pocket of my pants. And I started playing my favorite songs from Spotify. And the first song that comes on is Luther Vandross singing Always and Forever. And I was singing it to Pepper, like, you're my dream come true, I love you always forever. And he could feel the energy of the music, and he could feel my happy feelings. And he was like, all right. And he just got into this beautiful walk from there. And then the upbeat rhythm of the next song really got him going for the trot. So it's really fun to also experiment with music and singing and humming and chanting, all the things, and just keep playing. Like I said, life's a big experiment. So if you keep playing with these sort of things, that'll also help you tap into your intuition, because you're starting to shift into another frequency. Because how many times have you just been like in a like kind of a zoned out state, and then you hear like your favorite song, and you're like, I got to jump up and dance. And that totally changes the energy, right? It's like, there's no question. Your life is about to change in 2 seconds as soon as you hear that song, you know? It's a powerful thing. Yep.
Yes, it is. Very powerful. And we're all energetic light beings, like you said earlier, and I love that. Oh, Beth, you and I can talk about this, I know, for hours, because this is just awesome. I keep thinking of different things that have happened in my life, different experiences, and I'm like, oh, my goodness, this is too incredible. You just explained to me why I'm humming a lot. I'm like, oh, my word, I love that.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
Oh, I will. Well, Beth, as we start to come to a close, I know you said a little bit earlier how to connect with your audio summit, but just to close with, if you would like, please share the best ways to connect with you when our listeners hear this and say, I need to connect with Beth Lauren Parrish. How is the best way to do that, Beth?
Oh, same way. Please go to my website, inspiredwriting.com, and you'll scroll all the way to the bottom. There's a contact page, and you can just email me. And if you're on Facebook, you can find me at Inspired Writing, as well as Instagram. So those are all the places that I am mostly hanging out.
Okay.
So I would love to chat with anyone if they have questions about it, but I really hope more people sign up for the Audio Summit. Like I said, it's free, and what's really amazing is many of the speakers are offering incredible offers, very special discounts for certain things if you sign up and listen. And then there's also a really big giveaway that you'll get more details about when you get the email after you signed up. It's really cool. So, yeah, that's all I'll say about that. And I'll leave the mystery.
Okay, we'll leave the magic for later. Oh, I love that. I want to thank you so much for being my guest. This has just been so much fun and so much knowledge shared with our listeners today. I loved every moment of it. So thank you again, Beth, and you have an absolute magical day.
Thank you so much. I so appreciate you, and I love chatting with you, too. And may the horse be with you always.
Oh, thank you, Beth. Definitely. And I want to thank all of our listeners for listening to this amazing show with our returning monthly diva, Beth Lauren Parrish. Be sure and share this show with all your family and friends. And tune in again in May when Beth will be sharing more knowledge. And be sure and sign up for her audio summit. There are some incredible speakers that are going to be on there. So remember that one too. And be sure to check out all the other hosts and their shows on divasthatcare.com. Have an absolute magical day and be kind to all. And remember what Beth said, to invite the intuitive insights to show up today. Just say that and you'll be amazed at what can happen in your life and how it will show up. Be kind to all and give your animals that great big extra hug and share all your love with them. Until we connect again on Robust Lifestyle, stay strong and healthy.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.